We're surrounded by technology that feels like magic, but when you think about it, most of it is still a pretty manual tool, kind of like a hammer. We're the ones doing all the searching, the clicking, the organizing. But what if that's all about to change? Today, we're diving into a vision from AI pioneer Mustafa Suleyman, who sees AI evolving from a simple tool into, well, a true life partner. I mean, who isn't tired of juggling a dozen apps just to plan a simple trip or manage a project, right? The question Suleiman is asking here is a total game changer. What if instead of just getting a list of links, your technology could understand your goal and just handle it for you? And that idea right there leads us to our first major shift. We are right on the verge of leaving behind the whole era of just gathering information and entering a brand new world where AI takes intelligent action. Okay, so this slide just lays it out perfectly. On the left, that's our reality right now. We're the ones finding the links, digging through data, we're doing all the heavy lifting. But on the right, that's the future of what's called agentic AI, AI that acts as an agent for us. The roles get completely flipped. The AI becomes the project manager, handling the whole process, and that frees us up to focus on the bigger picture. And, Suleiman himself puts it pretty bluntly. This isn't just some small upgrade. It's a fundamental change in how we interact with the digital world. The burden is shifting from us to the machine. I love this metaphor because it just captures the evolution so well. We used to think of computers as a bicycle for the mind, right? A tool that just amplified our own power. But now, that bicycle has a motor and an autopilot. It's not just a tool we operate anymore, it's becoming a partner that actively helps us on our journey. So, where does all this lead? Well, it builds into something that's actually deeply personal. This isn't just about general productivity. It's about having a dedicated AI companion for every single one of us. And what makes this companion so radically different is its emotional intelligence, or EQ. Now, this isn't about the AI faking emotions. It's about building an interface that can actually understand our psychological state, making our interactions feel supportive and intuitive, not, cold and robotic. Just imagine an AI that doesn't just know your schedule, but knows when you're feeling burnt out and gently suggests you take a break. It remembers your big, long-term goals and nudges you toward them. It acts like a guardian, filtering out all the digital noise, and it can even help you see your own behavioral patterns more clearly. This quote really gets to the absolute core of this whole vision. I mean, we've spent decades teaching machines to understand our commands. The next great leap is teaching them to understand our hearts, our intentions, our goals, our well-being. That is where the real power is. Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit from the personal to the societal. What happens when this level of intelligence isn't some luxury, but it's a utility that's available to everyone? This is what Suleiman calls humanistic superintelligence, and it's a truly radical idea. I mean, imagine the best legal advice, the best medical insights, the best private tutoring, all that expertise that's currently saved for just a few, made accessible to literally anyone on the planet at almost no cost. This is about democratizing excellence and amplifying human potential on a massive global scale. So, what does this mean for our jobs? For the work we do? This table shows that shift perfectly. As AI takes over the tasks in the from column, the processing, the analysis, our value moves over to the to column. We'll be valued for what is uniquely human: creative vision, high-level strategy, ethical judgment, and maybe most importantly, just knowing what to do with all this incredible power. Okay, so what's one of the most immediate, most profound benefits of offloading all this work to an AI? Well, it's about getting our own minds back. We all feel this, don't we? The endless administrative chaos. Suleiman calls it the work about work. It just drains our cognitive energy and keeps us from focusing on what actually matters. And this is the solution. The ultimate luxury, the new status symbol. It's not going to be having access to more data. It's going to be the freedom from having to process all of it yourself. And just look at what we get back when we delegate that chaos. It's not just about being more efficient. It's about recovering the time and mental space for deep work, for creativity, and for simply being present with the people we care about. That is the real promise here. Of course, a technology this powerful brings up a massive, absolutely crucial question. How do we keep it safe? How do we keep it aligned with our interests? And this brings us to the idea of containment. The whole idea of containment isn't new, but it's now probably the most critical engineering challenge of our time.
Think about it, when an AI can take action in the real world, booking flights, spending money, talking to people on our behalf, it has to operate within strict boundaries that we define, boundaries that protect human values.
Suleiman argues that safety can't just be an afterthought, it has to be built in from day one. And this framework includes global cooperation on standards, radical transparency so we can build public trust, and rigorous testing, using what's called red teaming, where experts are basically paid to try and break the system, to find its flaws before it gets released. And this is the perfect way to think about it. Containment isn't some cage designed to limit AI. It's more like a guardrail, designed to make sure that all of its incredible power is channeled in a direction that actually benefits all of humanity. So, as we're standing right on the brink of this new era, where AI is changing from a tool to a collaborator, the final question isn't really about the technology. It's about us. This is a symbiotic relationship. The technology is evolving to understand us better, but are we ready to lead it, to guide it, and to collaborate with it wisely? That's the real challenge ahead.